Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome again to Feeding the Soul podcast. As you know, we love to interview chefs and winemakers that work with community organizations and charities that are near and dear to their heart. Today is a special episode. We're cutting out the middleman and we're going right to the organization that works with the community. So today we are joined by two very special ladies and leaders from Farm to Pantry. We have Executive Director Rosa Gonzalez, and we have Community Outreach and Development Director Kelly Conrad. Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being here. So I try very hard to have a background that matches whoever my guest is, and I just have a farm. So it's not, it's like, sorry about
beautiful.
Not terribly exciting. It's just a generic farm. So, well, let's get right into it. For people who've never heard of Farm to Pantry, let's talk a little bit about, first of all, the both of you, how your career path sort of led you to it. And then we'll talk a little bit about what Farm to Pantry is. So we'll take it away with Kelly, and then we'll go to Rosa.
Okay. I come from a background of 20 years in the wine industry, actually, doing PR and marketing, and it was fabulous. I learned so much. I learned that every year is a new vintage and it's a whole new ball game. It was amazing because you could know a lot, but not be a know-it-all in the wine industry. And then some things happened in my life, some health issues, and also I was doing a lot of travel, about 3 weeks out of every month, and I was getting little Post-its on the door from my son saying, "Mommy, don't go." So I just kind of reinvented my career in my 40s, which is not easy. Don't recommend, but I am so glad I did, because this is a whole different kind of fulfillment in the nonprofit industry. And again, I am learning every day, and it feels like, even though I have been in Sonoma County for decades, I now feel really connected to my community. And so that is what led me here.
Thank you very much. Let's tag in Rosa. You're up.
Yeah, for me, so Latina, Mexican, I always knew growing up that I wanted to do something in healthcare. I first thought, oh, I'll be a provider, I'll be a doctor, because that's the one way that I can help my community in preventing all these diseases like hypertension, diabetes, right? Just everything. Me, myself being predisposed to them as well. But when I was in college in 2012, 2013, I came across a public health internship where we talked about just healthy eating and exercise and all these amazing things. And that got my wheels turning. And that same year, I was involved with our food pantry on campus. We were one of the first food pantries to ever exist in a college campus. So I went to undergrad at Davis, and fabulous, amazing time. So being involved in those two, it got me thinking, and so you know what? I could do a public health career. I don't have to be a provider in order to help my community. I can be on the other side. I can help prevent, all these diseases from from my community getting them. And so that's how I started thinking and changing my train of thought. I moved back home in 2013. I did 10 months of AmeriCorps. It was through the Health Corps. So I worked in a local health clinic. And by doing that, I met this amazing development director who happened to be on the founding board members for Farm to Pantry.
Okay.
She was leaving Healdsburg, moving up to Seattle, and she said, "Hey, I'm leaving, but I want you to connect with this organization. They're doing such amazing work. You are clearly involved in the community. You would be a great asset. You would be a great voice." And mind you, by this time, I'm like in my early 20s. So I'm like, I don't know. I was intimidated because here I am, a young professional, fresh out of college. I'm like, I don't know if I'm even qualified. I'm just the girl, right? I'm just the girl from Sonoma County. And she was like, no, this is exactly why. Because you're young, you have lived here your whole life, you have that connection to community. You would be a great asset. And I was like, okay, fine, great. So I joined the board, and I was on the board of Farm to Pantry for 6.5 years, almost 7. And I left to pursue my higher degree in public health. So I received a master's in public health from the Yale School of Public Health.
She's all shy about that, but I was
saw
about to
that.
chime in
Now
like,
hold on. I'm going to hit pause real quick. For all our kids out there listening, it'd be cool if we had some. You got to own that awesome education that you earned, because the earn is the key there. Yale
Yeah.
Public Health. Bravo. That's awesome.
Thank you.
For
Thank
sure.
you.
That's the
Yeah.
teacher in me. I'm like, you got to brag on that. Okay, good.
I am if it's one thing I'm horrible about bragging, that I was at an Ivy League.
Yeah, if I had gone to get my master's at Yale, I would have a hat that said
Yes.
Yale. I would be like swag
Yes.
out.
Thank
I
you.
do, and I wear it in certain instances, and I'm like, dang, I'm a walking billboard. You know what? Whatever. Let's embrace this.
Yeah.
You're lucky I'm not very good with graphic designer. I'd put a Yale thing behind you on this podcast, but I don't know how to do that. So, anyways, continue.
Yeah, and so, I did my MPH. I came back to the county, and I was here. I got back. I started talking to a couple of people and friends, and I was like, hey, let's meet up. I've been out of Sonoma County for the past 2, 3 years. I want to know what's been happening, what's going on, who are the leaders here, what's really happening in the community. And it was kismet, it was serendipity that I came back right at the time when our former director, Desky Estes, was leaving Farm to Pantry. And
Okay.
it just so happened that it was that transition where I was like, well, I talked to the chair, I talked to a couple of other leaders, and I believe, Desky also spoke to the board. And everyone was like, well, let's chat to Rosa, see if she's interested. I started having conversations, and I was like, I don't want to come in and be an executive director right away. I want to meet the team. I want to see how they're doing. I want to see if I will mesh with them, if I will work well with them.
Right.
Like I'll come in as an interim. You as the board can go through the whole process of interviewing folks, screening folks to see. But because for all I know, I may not be the best fit for the organization, but I will be here during this time. And yeah, and lo and behold, and on July, I forget what of last year, 2024, I officially became the executive director. And by no means did I ever think I would be the executive director of Farm to Pantry.
But her experience on the board made the transition really good because she hit the ground running. She knew what Farm to Pantry was all about. And then, yeah, the staff has, everyone's just, as the kids say, vibing so well. And so she's really taking us in a direction that Farm to Pantry really needs to go. So, and with that, I guess we should give you a little background about Farm to Pantry.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I was about to say. So, and I know you mentioned just briefly earlier about this being a public health, like preventative health. So talk more about what your goals are then, what Farm to Pantry does as far as serving the community, what some of your goals are. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Farm to Pantry was founded in 2008 by our amazing founder, Melita Love. Um, it started in Healdsburg. So we are a gleaning nonprofit. So we harvest the excess produce from local backyards, local farms, and then we distribute that fresh, amazing, beautiful produce that grows here in Sonoma County to other nonprofits, to senior centers, to local Burbank housing homes. We bring the food directly to those that need it most. Most of the time, this ends up being seniors, kids, farm workers, families, domestic workers, hotel workers, right? So it's
Patients at
patients.
healthcare.
Yeah. So it ends up being really the underserved community that makes this such a great county. And we've been doing that since 2008. We started out as a all volunteer, right? As all nonprofits start, all volunteer led. And slowly throughout the years, more paid positions became available. In 2021, right when COVID hit, that's when we really got a boom in the number of volunteers that we had. I think
Makes sense.
in one year we had almost 300 volunteers. But yeah, as you can imagine, everyone wanted to be outside, and we were one of the few nonprofits that had volunteer opportunities where you could be outside, you could still have that
your
human
distance.
connection, be
Mm.
safely distanced, take all the precautions, that were needed. And it was great, it was amazing. And during that time, Dusky helped us really explode throughout the county. We went from just being in Healdsburg and only serving Healdsburg to now really being all over Sonoma County.
To give you just a rough estimate or idea of what we came from. So before Dusky and I came on in 2020, it had taken us 10 years. We had maybe an employee and a half, and it had taken us 10 years to glean and distribute 1 million servings, just,
Okay.
kind of plugging along. And then when we expand and explode, it's not necessarily a good thing, right? We're trying to put
Yeah.
ourselves out of business,
Yeah.
ideally. But when the need spiked in 2020 with COVID, we did 1 million servings in that 1 year. And we've been doing 1 million servings ever since. So what took us 10 years as we just
Wow.
limped along became this is the pace that we're trying to sustain right now. And unfortunately, this is the need.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said based in Healdsburg, started there, now expanded throughout Sonoma County.
Yeah.
Are you going to be expanding outside? Are you going to keep it in Sonoma County, or are you looking to maybe go out and expand throughout California? You're
So
great.
there's
Like that. Talk to
funny
me, man.
enough, yeah, funny enough, there are other cleaning organizations throughout California.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's definitely that already in existence. I think right now we definitely want to focus in Sonoma County,
Okay.
really build those partnerships, establish partnerships with, our local organizations, and really just create a network where, just really try to get this food out there to those that need it most. Kelly came up with a great tagline, which is connecting abundance with need, right?
Mhm.
Connecting that
Yeah.
abundance of
This
amazing.
agriculturally abundant county, I think, our focus should stay for right now in Sonoma County because we're still not meeting the need and
Right. Right.
we're stretched to our limits for the moment. Yes, we can still grow even within the county.
Yeah.
But what we'd like to see in the future is just a strengthening of the model that we have now, because there is more to be done. And unfortunately, food waste it's what, 8% of
Yeah.
global greenhouse gases. So we're
Yeah.
wasting food and people are food insecure. It cannot happen. And so there is more work to be done. So let's do that here, and then we'll think beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
And the positive effects that has on all parts of the community. From I mentioned earlier before we started recording, being a teacher, that nothing affected our students more in a positive way than just giving them a healthy breakfast. That was it.
Exactly.
At our school. Like
Yeah.
most of the kids' behavior issues and stressors for the fact that they came to school and hadn't eaten since the day before, if that, right? So
Yep.
just that simple fix just revolutionized the culture of our school. So what you're doing here, and you're talking about so that's just one part of the community, right? Children, but you're talking about seniors and different working groups, and
Yeah.
being able to do that, it almost has like a positive domino effect that you guys are showing throughout the county. So
Yeah.
we're
Exactly.
flipping this episode a little bit, right? So instead of talking to the chef or the winemaker who's really focused on that community organization, you as the community organization,
Mm-hmm.
you obviously have a great love of the Healdsburg area and Sonoma County. So we're going to ask you in a second how everyone who's listening can get involved and support you, but who's already doing that support? Like, who are some partners in the community right now that are really helping you guys thrive?
Yeah, so some of our farmer friends are from Porch Farm, Single Thread Farms, Little Saint, all well recognized in the Healdsburg community. And then when it comes to nonprofit partners, we, shared space with Corazon Healdsburg, La Familia Sana up in Cloverdale, Burbank Housing all throughout Sonoma County,
Okay.
the Living Room, COTS.
Yeah, we have over 100 nonprofit partners. And
Oh,
then
wow.
as far as people who are supporting us, we are the cause partner for O'Toole Winery, which is a fabulous new winery in the Russian River. Everyone should definitely go check them out. So We partnered with Portalupi as well. They have a sustainable refillable bottle called
Vaso,
Marina
Vaso di Marina.
Vaso di Marina. French, not Italian, sorry. And so a percentage of that goes back to Farm to Pantry when they come in to refill their wine because we are their sustainable partner there. And then 2 years ago, we brought in 50,000 pounds of apples. And no matter how food insecure you are, at a certain time, you're just like, mercy on the apples. Yeah.
Would you like more
So
applesauce today? No, I'm done.
I'm good. Yeah.
so we had to find, of course, we're always going to find a home for the food we bring in. Nothing's going to go to waste.
Right.
So we did a partnership with Golden State Cider where we provided them the apples. They made a uh, farms to cider product. And they sell that out of their tap room in Sebastopol. And again, a percentage goes back to, so we're trying to develop these connections with our winery partners, our business partners in the area so that it makes it easy for them to give back to the community. And we do the same thing with tourism. We have a kind traveler program where people that stay here, they can come gleaning with us if they want to give back to the place that they're visiting. But also hotels around the area, a percentage goes back to Farm to Pantry. So it's called Every Stay Gives Back. And so like $5 will go to us each night. And so people feel like, yes, we're not just here to consume and tromp on the place we're visiting. We are also giving back to where it needs. So it's we try to keep everything like full circle and sustainable. And to be honest, when we've gotten some amazing feedback when people come and stay here visiting, and if they get to go gleaning with us, to have them get their hands dirty and feel like they're giving back, to meet some of the locals, to see private properties you would never see. And I've been in Healdsburg for 10 years and I've seen some properties that dropped my jaw and I had never knew they were there. And then it feels a little bit better to be indulgent or decadent for the rest of the day because you've put in some work for the day,
You earn that glass of wine or three.
Exactly.
So these sort of partnerships, I'm so glad you listed that many. And at the end of this episode here, everyone, there's going to be a list of all the different organizations that are going to be connected with Farm to Pantry. So you'll be able to read the list and go support. But that community engagement that you have where all these kind of partners are looking to support is the kind of positivity that I absolutely love up there in Sonoma. But let's say someone's like, I just want to go gleaning. Like, don't worry about the winery. I just want to come get dirty and help out. How can they do that?
Yeah, so they can go on our website, farmtopantry.org, look at our volunteer calendar, and there we post the gleaning shifts. So the team goes out and they glean Tuesday through Friday. Usually now that it's summer, 8:30 in the morning till 11:30 in the morning. Afterwards, in the evenings, they do the distribution of the food. So the one goal that we have is whatever is harvested that week goes out that week. We do not like to keep produce over the weekend unless we have a community event where we will be giving out free produce, an outreach event, a health fair, whatever the case may be. Then we'll keep some produce for that event. And now we also started adding driving shifts. So if folks wanted to come and really see where this food is going and visit some of our partners, you can do that. We've also added the weekend events. So any tabling shift that we have, folks can join us on a weekend. So we really are now trying to give more opportunities for volunteers to just really sign up with us, either go out on a glean or table with
farmers
us.
market also at the farmers markets will go around with our little wagon afterwards, and any unsold produce the farmers will share with us, and then we'll go to low-income housing, and it's like we're a mobile farmers market. And like Rosa mentioned before, we glean from single thread. Well, anyone who knows single thread knows it's like what, $800 to dine there, and for us to be able to go on their property and get this really finely curtailed, beautiful produce and share it for free. that is food, that is the ultimate in food justice in my mind. It's not just for the lucky few that can afford it. And ultra processed foods dominates the diets of people on a budget. It's just the way it is. That ultra processed foods are accessible, even in food deserts, and they are cheap. And it's amazing when we get to share with the kids and they get excited about eating a fresh peach or an orange wedge. And to see those fresh fruits and vegetables in their hands rather than hot Cheetos is all the, gratification I need.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have been around actual kids because you said hot Cheetos, and that is their
Oh,
favorite.
yeah.
Or Takis.
Or Takis. God, my daughter's just destroying her digestive system with those.
Like
Yeah.
so it's really cool that it's not just, okay, I want to go out and help, like actually help for the day, and gleaning's my only option, driving is an option, and helping on the weekend. It sounds like there's an incredible amount of opportunity for anybody. Doesn't matter what their schedule looks like to come.
Yeah, or if you're injured, or if you just, it's too hot out for you and you want to deliver food in an air conditioned car, there's options.
Yeah. If you're
There's no
elderly,
excuse
if
not
you're
to.
yeah, if you're young, like every year we put out a volunteer survey, and every year
Okay.
we ask for feedback and say, what keeps you coming back? What can we do better?
Mhm.
And so we've heard from a couple of volunteers saying, hey, I would love to continue being involved with you all, but I'm older. I'm injured. I can't lift heavy things, or I can't do the harvesting motion of up and down with using the pickers.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't do it. I'm like, okay, let's figure out a way where we can still involve our volunteers and really try to adapt and offer a variety of shifts that they can sign up for.
And we even partner with Becoming Independent, and their clients will come out and do what they can in the community gardens or whatever. And
Wonderful.
to be able to accommodate people with special needs and stuff, and for the person who was heading up the crew in the garden said one time, he's like, for them to feel, they're normally the recipient of services, and for them to be able to feel like they're giving back to their community, the compounding effect of feel goods right there just gives me chills. So
Yeah.
we've got a job for everyone.
I want to grab the leather gloves now and start, like, I'm getting inspired just listening to this. So this is good. So let's get in the time machine and fast forward 5 years from now.
Yeah.
What would you like to see Farm to Pantry look like? What would you want to see stay the same? Like, you don't want this to change because it's important, but you want to see this maybe look different, either more of something or change. In a perfect world, 5 years.
5 years.
I'll say right off the bat, I mean, like I said before, I would love to see this model, just strengthened more. I'd like to see a larger pool of sustaining donors. Like, that is so much peace of mind for us when people become a monthly donor or a perennial donor. So I would love to see that expand, and maybe start like a community meetings monthly so that we have this forum where people can talk and find out what else is, so that we can provide wraparound care. Like, who else do we need to partner with so that the people that we serve can be, better served by their whole community and not just us. So in my mind, it's strengthening what we have here now, and then making the relationships and partnerships with our community more robust, and opening those lines of communication so that we can see where we need to go.
Yeah, and I would also add really strengthening our partnership with our local farmer friends. To this day, new, farmers are finding out about us. And so for us to really strengthen this relationship and have a connection, whether it's us, whether it's other nonprofits, where our farmer friends can go and deliver, or have us come and pick up or glean their excess produce. It's a win-win, because we get the produce, then it goes out into the community, and they also get a donation receipt from us. So it really truly is a win-win all around. And for me, that's one of the goals, is to really strengthen these partnerships and bring in as many farmer friends as we can.
In 5 years, my ideal, and if we're to really like go fantasy land,
Absolute.
I
No
want to take a
limits.
walk in Healdsburg and blow by a bunch of neighbors' fruit trees and stuff and not see anything rotting on the ground. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
That's it.
First of all, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it be? You've got to come to the Central Valley where we have just endless dozens of miles of citrus.
Oh yeah.
When we first moved to California, it blew my mind. It was just like the ground was orange.
Yep.
From all the oranges falling. And they're just sitting there. I'm like,
yep.
I pull over because these are delicious, right?
It's funny you say that. One of my closest friends lives in Porterville. So near
lots of citrus.
right?
Yeah.
So every time just driving and that I visit her, I'm like, dang, we would thrive here. Farm to Pantry would thrive.
Absolutely would.
There's so much produce.
We'll talk later because I think we gotta do something down here because you would go absolutely nuts down here. You'd be happy and just disgusted all at the same time.
That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah. So look, it's so nice to ask somebody, where do you want to be in 5 years? And you don't hear like massive changes from what they are right now. It's just more of what we're doing. That means you've really got it dialed in to like your sweet spot. Now we just need to make this bigger and better. And we're going to do that. We're going to help you out with that. So we'll see what we can do by blasting you out there all over social media, right? Always helps. That always helps. So now that the deep questions are done, we're going to get a little less serious. It's time for the lightning round.
Okay.
It's like those ink blot tests. The first thing that pops into your mind, just blurt it out. And if you talk over each other, you're just going to have to do rock, paper, scissors, who answers first. So we'll start lighthearted. Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Sweet.
Oh.
Yep.
Umami is my thing.
Yeah.
And they still work together and get along. That's great.
We do. We totally do.
We are the opposites attract and balance each other out.
Yep.
Out of everybody I've asked, everyone says savory. You're the first one who's just said sweet. The first one.
I'm a sucker for sweet. I truly am.
I thought I would be the oddball. That's interesting.
Well, maybe you will be on the next question. You never know.
Okay.
Last great meal you had and where? Let's start with Kelly.
Oh, my parents came to town and we went to Willie's, and I have to say, right in downtown Healdsburg, it was nice because the oysters just were so fresh, and we balanced it with the spinach salad with the big old chunks of bacon and goat cheese, and it was so simple, but it was so fresh and so good. I walked out of there feeling like totally satiated, but not overly stuffed. It was awesome.
I got to make a mental note when I do these podcasts. I got to eat before I ask these questions because I'm hungry right now. And
Take notes.
you start talking about Willie's, I'm like, oh, Willie's is delicious. I love that. Okay, but I can handle 10 more minutes. No problem. All right,
Yeah.
Rosa.
Yeah, for me, it's my mom's zucchini pancakes. They're like chile rellenos if you've had them, but instead of the chile poblano, it's zucchini. And I forgot how much I loved them until she made them 2 weeks ago. My inner kid just came out. I was dancing. I was so happy. I made what is it, when you bite something and you start dancing in your seat? That was me. I was like, oh my God, I forgot how much I love this meal.
I've never even heard of that with zucchini.
Yeah, with zucchini. So instead of a potato pancake, instead of a latke, it's a zucchini.
Oh, that's
it's delicious.
Sounds good for you too.
Yeah.
It's health food. Who cares if it's fried? It's no problem.
Yep, exactly. There you go.
All right, next question. This is for both of you again. What's one kitchen tool you cannot live without? We'll start with Rosa this time.
Tomato or kiwi peeler. Because, yeah, exactly. So this is going to be a tip. I don't know if you all do this, but if you ever want to do a coleslaw or the slaw for pupusas, you use that peeler for the cabbage. And instead of using a mandolin where you can lose a finger, you can use the peeler, and it slices the cabbage so thin and so fine. It's my favorite tool, and it has to be there. I learned about this with my mom. Mom was like, oh, someone told me to use this for the cabbage. I'm like, I don't know, Ma. I don't know. I'm a little skeptical here. And so we tried it, and I was like, oh my God. I'm like, this just cuts down the time. It's beautiful. I don't lose a finger using a mandolin. Love it. And ever since, it's been my favorite.
So people tuning in today thinking they weren't going to get chef tips because we weren't talking. Evidently, you are getting chef tips today.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is. All right, Kelly, one kitchen tool you cannot live without.
Well, I can guarantee you will not be getting chef tips from myself. My husband rarely lets me in the kitchen, but when I do get in the kitchen, I would have to say a rubber spatula is pretty much the only thing I use in the kitchen, but mainly it's because I love artichokes, which is mainly a vehicle to get mayonnaise in my mouth, and it's usually to make sure every bit of mayonnaise gets out of the jar. So the rubber spatula is my standby.
So we've taken a hard right turn off the healthy food topic.
Like I said,
100%.
opposites.
But actually, this goes to your mindset earlier. I'm going to work really hard cleaning in the morning so that I can have wine, or in this case, mayonnaise, in the afternoon.
Exactly. Balance. You gotta balance
it out. I love it.
Exactly.
Okay. What's always in your fridge besides mayonnaise, Kelly? Go.
Capers.
Oh, now we're on the same. There we go. Now we're on the same page.
Interesting.
Those are delicious.
Salty, yummy. You could put it on anything and I would eat it.
Agreed. Rosa.
And this is where I disagree. I do not like capers.
What's wrong with you?
Balance. For me, it would have to be some type of salsa or pickled jalapenos as a true Mexican.
Yeah. And I've learned from moving to California that not all salsa is the same.
Not all salsa is created.
I've met some finally that I actually didn't care for, and I never thought that would be a thing. And I've also met some now that almost changed my life. They were so good. So
yep,
you
exactly.
gotta be picky about your salsa.
Yep, 100%.
All right, we're gonna get deep with the last question, ladies. So if you could share a bottle of wine with anybody, living or past, who would it be?
I know mine.
Good.
Go ahead, Kelly.
The first love of my life and first concert, Prince. And, maybe it would just be an excuse to just get to meet him. I don't know how much of a foodie Prince was, but he's so talented that that's who I would want to definitely sit down with.
Just had this debate with a friend about, they said Prince or someone else. I said, who was more talented? Might have been Michael Jackson. I don't know. And
Prince, definitely Prince.
That's what I'm saying. Like Prince, people don't understand how talented.
There's not an instrument on this planet that he cannot play. And I am an 80s chick through and through. And yeah, granted, it's weird that I'm taller than him, but that's what his high heels were for.
He needed more mayonnaise in his diet.
That's why we'll be sitting down sharing our bottle of wine.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Rosa, who would it be?
For me, it would have to be U.S. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor.
Okay.
Then my girl.
Tell us more. Why is that?
I admire just her background. We share similar stories, first gen. And for both of us to have made it to Yale, it's amazing. I was sharing with Kelly that I would have wished to have met her while attending Yale. So it is well known that she will visit the graduate student bar and just hang out there with the students.
Really?
She will come to the Yale Law School and give a presentation, give a talk, but of course, only Yale law students have access to these presentations and talks. But my hope was that one day she would show up at the graduate bar and I would be there. And it unfortunately did not happen. So hopefully I'm putting it out there. One day I will meet her.
We'll have to stalk her.
Yeah.
So we'll take care of it. Don't we?
We'll tag her, mention her in this episode, and maybe she'll watch it.
There you go.
Stranger things have happened on the internet. You never know.
That's very true. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, ladies. This has been a ton of fun. I hope this is the first of many chats we have about the work that you do. Everyone out there listening and watching, please check the comments or the links or whichever venue you're watching this on, and please support Farm to Pantry and all the organizations in the area that support them directly themselves. So thank you very much, and I appreciate your time, and have a great day, and I cannot wait to see you up in Sonoma County soon.
Yeah. Yes. Whenever you're here, let us know.
I'm bringing the gloves.
Bring the gloves.
We'll put you to work.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. Make sure you check out the charity we talked about, and don't forget to follow us wherever you find us. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Instagram.